Welcome back. Hey, you ever heard that expression, a few bad mangoes spoil the whole bunch? Doesn't it seem like that's the case with the FSM community? I wanted to find out more, so I sat down with some FSM community leaders for this next piece. FSM and Chookies community leaders are calling it a crisis. Fighting, stabbing, robberies, rapes, public drunkenness, even murder. Each of these crimes only strengthening the stereotype people already have about people from the FSM. Like when people hear Chookies, what do you think they think of?
The first thing they think of is already trouble, problems. They drink, they make too many problems.
All we heard is Micronesian doing crimes and all those.
One thing most of these crimes have in common? Alcohol. I sat down and spoke with Deacon Atoy Ruda, considered by many to be a prominent leader in the Chookies community. Deacon Atoy shared with me that the outbreak of crimes being committed by those in the FSM community is for him a heavy cross to bear.
We really feel hurt for what we hear that they did something bad, fighting to the people of this island, and they stab somebody. All the Chookies, they arrested. We feel bad because we are Chookies.
Deacon Atoy even told me that alcohol and violence has hit close to home for him personally. Two of his grandchildren recently spent time in DOC, and one of them is still behind bars.
They fight together and we call the cop to come and stop them. Why we call the cop? We don't want to call the cop. But we call them because they're like an animal. They're crazy. They don't listen. We cry. We crying to them. They don't listen.
Are they still in jail?
Yes, one of my grandson is still in jail. I feel guilty. I really love them. Every day, every night, myself and my family keep crying for them.
Deacon Atoy's grandsons aren't the only ones who went to jail. In fact, FSM citizens constitute the second largest group of inmates at the Department of Corrections. While it's no laughing matter, the president of the FSM found time to joke about it at a recent meeting of Pacific Island leaders.
I thank you for welcoming our people to come to your shores, look for jobs, look for good, better education, and look for health, and hopefully fill up your jails. Thank you very much.
John Howard of the Micronesian Resource Center does outreach work with FSM youth. And he said the president's joke was about as funny as a funeral.
I was going to write to him that, your statement is against what we're trying to do here.
And it seems the president of the FSM is not the only one who isn't taking this issue seriously. Deacon Atoy says the message he tries to preach to FSM youth most times falls on deaf ears.
We talk to them, we try our best, we cry to them, but they didn't stop. Keep continuing drinking, keep continue doing bad things on this island.
Ground zero for this issue, like it or not, a place many say has become synonymous with alcohol-induced violence.
It's hood because the people make it hood. They make it ghetto. It's how they live.
And just who are they? Well, Hemilani Apartments doesn't just house so-called Micronesians. In fact, Hemilani management says many Chamorros also stay at the apartments. That's something you might not have known. Something you definitely know, Hemilani's is a hot spot. After a Guam Police Department officer was assaulted by several individuals, the governor started a safe housing task force to specifically address problems at Hemilani Apartments, with GPD saying the number of times they've responded to 911 calls from the apartment complex is mind-blowing. This forced Hemilani's landlord, Vinod Hemilani, to make some changes.
I've become super strict where it's one incident, you're out. And that has controlled a lot of alcohol. People don't drink on my compounds anymore. They're scared because once they find out, they're out.
People say it's ghetto. They say you're a slumlord. How do you respond to those kind of things?
If I was a slumlord, you can take a look at my units. It speaks for itself. I provide the best service. That's why I have 100% occupancy. I provide the service of aircon, refrigeration, repairs, everything to a tenant. When they move in, they're happy. Now, afterwards is how they live or they choose to live. That's what makes it really bad.
There are those who feel that though it may be an uphill battle, they're going to fight for positive change, whether it's through music,
Seeing all the troubles on Guam, and I know that it's my people. Ooh, hurts us so much to see another being put down to the ground. So let us all bring peace together. Ooh, let's all change our situation. Spread the positivity around.
And the whole song is all about, because we've been raised on Guam, hearing all the stereotyping and stuff. So we want to spread out a message, start off something new, you know.
Rise up above. We will rise up for love. Don't need no trouble, no need no pain. And our day you call us different, we bleed the same. Our lives already a struggle, leave us alone. And then you quickly judge us of our skin tone. Here was my partner paying Japanese, Marshallese and Michael Shryon. Bury the hatchet and let bygones be bygones. The Chukis wrote Tenisa, Pantini and
So Stay Up is basically about, how we face a lot of racism here amongst each other, and it's kind of sad sometimes, so we just try to shine the light on, all the islands that we have here, because all we have is each other, we're all one.
We don't need no trouble, no need no pain. And our day you call us different, we bleed the same. Our lives already a struggle, leave us alone. And then you quickly judge us of our skin.
While some use music with a message to reach people, John Howard uses sports.
We basically just use, sports, just to engage them.
Yeah.
And then once we bring them together, we always have like a speaker to come and just talk to them about, be productive and being a responsible citizen.
Howard, a former Olympian representing the FSM and a two-time gold medalist in the Pacific Games, uses sports to bring different generations of the FSM community together. And Howard believes giving kids and adults something to do can keep them off the streets. And it gets a little competitive. But Howard says it's worth it when parents tell him they're glad their kids come home at night. Many times so exhausted they go straight to sleep. Howard is also president of the Chukis Catholic Youth Association. And while music and sports are making positive changes in the FSM community, Howard and Deacon Atoy have faith that faith can make an even bigger difference. Deacon Atoy invited me to attend the Chukis Catholic Mass in Totu. And at a time when many Chamorros are struggling with their faith, I was surprised to see the church was packed with many people, young and old. And I was honored when Deacon Atoy invited me to speak before the congregation.
I want to pray for peace between the Chamorros and the Chukis, because sometimes the Chamorros and the Chukis are like this, right? But I want us to be like this.
And it seemed a blessing was bestowed upon us after the Mass when two young Chukis men asked Deacon Atoy to lead them in a solemn vow, promising to God they would not drink alcohol.
with the Chukis wants to make peace between the Chamorro and the Chukis people.
You know, I always also trust our Lord that, you know, he sees what we're doing, and we trust in him that he would help us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, we always watch it together. I mean, not like together. Okay, together.